Won't you come and say if you know
Hello.
the way?
Today you find us coming down into Warwick. We're just coming up to the Hatton flight, which is quite a long flight, and it's just early lunchtime now, and we're debating whether to do it this afternoon or not. But we might, especially if there's some volunteers on it. Anyway, we have been in Birmingham for a few days, and yesterday we crunched our way down the Digbeth branch onto the Grand Union. It's very low in water and there's appalling amounts of rubbish in it. I mean, it's not been cleared in years. I didn't film it, it's just too depressing. And we couldn't moor, there's nowhere to moor, and anyway you couldn't get into the side, so Henry was having to go down into the weed hatch, floating out in the middle. We didn't see a single boat the entire day, which is just as well because we'd have struggled to cross them. But it's very unloved, that bit, and it's a very direct route into Birmingham, so I don't know why it wasn't used more and why it's so, I mean, there's a tsunami of rubbish up it. I don't know. Anyway, we've got a bit of a problem ahead of us because Itchington Lock, which we would get to in maybe 2 days, has got a broken collar, and we're not sure how quickly they're going to fix it. We've been desperately trying to get to Northampton quickly because the whole network is suffering from a lack of water, and from the 9th of July they are going to be shutting a lot of the flights on a few days every week until further notice. So you'd only be able to go down the flights on certain days, I think Thursday to Sunday, which is fine. It's a really sensible idea when the water is low, but it does mean it gives us increased problems getting over for our booked date to cross the Wash. The other 2 boats going with us are already over that way, so they're just waiting for us. If the Itchington Lock doesn't get fixed in time, we may have to come back up here, and we probably wouldn't go back up the Digbeth branch. We would probably go around Kings Norton and up round Birmingham that way, and then come down via Rugby. The problem is there's so many problems at the moment that way might also, by the time we get there, have a problem. So at the moment it's a little bit up in the air. We're going to have to wait and see. However, we've got a nice day coming ahead of us tomorrow. We're meeting up with Ken and Kate from Narrowboat Daedalus, and we'll have a nice time in Warwick, which is a lovely place, and we'll just see if we can get some information on the Itchington and hope that they can get it fixed. We're in about the 5th lock coming down the Hatton flight, which we started at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe foolishly as there's no volunteers on. Quite hard work, paddles, so Henry and I are taking turns to do 3 or 4 at a time. There's Warwick Castle in the distance. We were halfway down the Hatton flight and starting to despair because there was no volunteers, and Ken and Kate from Daedalus turned up, and they know exactly what they're doing, and we're flying down now. It makes such a difference when you have people with you that know what they're doing. Yesterday we had Jane from Narrowboat Sanctuary helping us down Farmer's Flight and Digbeth branch, so we've had 2 days of help. What a difference. I've forgotten how tricky the Hatton flight is, and there are usually volunteers on it, so we just got unlucky today. Or lucky because Ken and Kate are here. There's Ken, and he's attacking the locks like they're a hit class. And we've made it to the Cape of Good Hope, where all our travails will be washed away with a nice cool pint any moment now. It is sweltering today. It's about 31 degrees, which is a lot hotter than we're used to, but we're moored just between Warwick and Leamington Spa, and we've gone onto an aqueduct, and underneath the aqueduct is the River Avon, and there were lots of kids swimming in there yesterday, so I'm going to risk it. Make sure I wash myself off carefully afterwards. I'm going to go and cool off in the river. Here's the aqueduct that the canal goes over, and the steps down. Must be the canal. There's lots of fishing stages down here, which were all full yesterday, and the river was full of paddleboarders and kayakers. That was a Sunday. Today it's Monday, and the schools are still not finished yet, so I should get half an hour or so before it goes mad. Well, I'm going to get in here and swim down. It's not that far. Again, there's lots of teenagers down there apparently, so I shall come out quickly when I get there. Oh, further than I thought.
Yeah.
Today is Wednesday, and we're just outside Leamington Spa, and we've heard that the Idgington lock will be fixed by next Thursday at the earliest, which will just about give us time to get to the Northampton flight before all the restrictions come in, so fingers crossed for that. In the meantime, Henry is back down the weed hatch. And he's found all this wire fisherman's gear. A lot of what we find around the weed hatch comes from fishermen. And last week on the Lancaster Canal, somebody rescued a barn owl that was caught up in fisherman's line in a tree. It was fine once the RSPCA had sorted it out. So while we wait for the locks to be fixed, I'm getting on with some more running repairs. I'm giving the doors a quick couple of coats of pink as it's faded. And when we came out of Birmingham some days ago, I heard a sort of screaming noise as I went through a very low bridge, and the whole top got scraped off there. It's gone across 4 colours, so that's quite a lot of repairing to do. I'm going to have to primer and undercoat and then mask off those stripes and paint them. But that's how I keep the boat bright, just doing a repair here and there as necessary. We're just inching our way slowly to Itchington, taking an afternoon cruise through the locks. And there's a little frog in the corner. And I'm not entirely sure that a lock is a great place for a frog, because they can't get out. I haven't got a net, so we're going to see if we can get him out with a bucket once the lock is filled up. The water coming into the lock has swept him around a bit. He's just down there, my love. Henry's got the mop bucket and the extraordinarily long rope we needed for the Manchester Ship Canal. Yeah, that's it. He's just under where you are now. He's getting swept into the little corner again. But he's gets swept over to that corner. He's sort of under the leaves. Can you see him?
Get me a pole, the blue pole.
Okay.
Oh, I can't see him.
He's there, he's still there. Still in the same place.
Still can't see him.
He's Henry, you don't squash him. He's there, look. He's moving, you can see his legs there. That's it.
Oh, I've got it.
he's still at the lock gate.
Pull bucket.
Oh, well done.
Um,
Oh no, don't let. Oh, he's not going to go in again, is he? We need to get him away from the lock. Well, he remains very close to the edge of the lock, but I'm a bit worried that if we try and move him, he'll jump back in. So we're going to just slowly go away and hope that he finds his way somewhere safer. He's walked himself round to the other side of the lock, and he looks like he's contemplating jumping in.
walk across.
But we figure he's got a better chance this side of the lock gate, because if he goes in the water, we can always climb out on all the greenery down there. I don't know. Frog rescue. We've done our best. I think we'll just leave him now. I think he's sitting there contemplating the bad choices he's made in life. He's probably been in this lock for quite some time, because nobody's been up these locks for days. Saturday today, cooler and breezier. I've been along to have a look at the broken lock, and there's nothing happening on it today, but there is a CRT boat up there, so hopefully Monday morning they'll be back on it. There's lots of hire boats all along here, just sort of left because they can't get back to the bases that they picked them up from. So and school holidays start quite soon, so they must be quite keen on getting all their boats back. Anyway, while we wait, we're finding other things to do, and today we are going to a farm shop, which is a bit more than a farm shop. It's called Hilltop Farm, and they've got a sort of soulful house afternoon today up in their barn. Music from 2 till 10, so we've bought tickets to go and see what that's like. And to get there you have to cycle up from the canal along a lane called the Leas Line Greenway, and it's an old dismantled railway line which we discovered a couple of years ago. And since they've opened it up, some little businesses have opened up along there. There's the Magic Barn Cafe, a pop-up shop. There's a little glamping site. So you bring these lovely places in and people use them well. Anyway, I'll take you for a little ride up there, see what you think. The Greenway starts through a little tunnel. It has these all along the way, which are for horse riders to get on and off. Cricket game going on over there. Oh, here comes the Magic Barn Cafe. Popular place. Quick stop for a bap and a coffee. These are the little tiny glamping site down there, all with their own hot tubs. Up ahead is a railway line in the sky, as you can see, and we have to go across that, and I don't know how we found it, but a couple of years ago we just noticed this tiny track which we've cycled past every time since then, and that'll take us up there. It's not an easy climb though. The actual cycle path itself goes on all the way to Leamington Spa, but HS2, that monstrosity, has cut the cycle path off, so you can't go there anymore. Not for the time being anyway. Up and up. And then out at the top. And we're all the way up here. And then it's just a short bobbly ride along there and we reach the road where the farm is. Finally, to end this video, we have the lovely sound of rain. So pleased to see it. Don't know if there's going to be enough to make that much difference. About 8 mil is forecast for today around here. But you never know, it'll help a bit. Anyway, that's it for now. Will we make it through the lock and on to Northampton? We'll have to wait and see. Have a good week, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.